Good afternoon. I hope today finds you well and that life is pretty good at the moment. It's raining and very, very windy here in West Wales. So, these are things I've always thought, but I was prompted today now because I actually do enjoy going through Facebook because I like leaving silly comments from people who take themselves way too seriously. But this morning there was, and this is absolutely every time, picture of a couple of old Volvos or something, F10s or F12s. And you just know that every other comment underneath is going to be, kids today, I couldn't drive that. So I replied to one of them, which started a bit of a debate. I'll probably put a link, screenshots in here. But yeah, so I replied to one saying, how is it you old men struggle so hard to accept that times change? Someone retiring when you were young would have said the same about him. No time is better or worse, notwithstanding wars. No generation is better or worse. Worse. Stop trying to make out you're better, basically. So that's what I replied. Which I think got him. Well, actually, which led to what I like to call bullshit bingo. Get the old catchphrases, because they accuse me of I'm still wet behind the ears, and the ink on my license isn't dry apparently, and I have nothing to reminisce about because it was the old European Drivers reminiscing page. So I'm going to put the record straight so I can put this video on. So I hate boasting. I hate it. None of it's boasting. What I'm going to say next, it's all just a way of coming back at people who like, and they do it to everybody. I'm not a special case, but they belittle you basically because you're not like 90 with a 75-year long career behind you. So I've got nothing to reminisce about. Wet behind the ears. The first time I went with Dad was in 1984, I think, or 1985. Been going constantly since. I even went in the, as you know, in the F16 for White's last year, and spent a day training on my current job and his job. When I was a kid, in the 90s, I went on several trips to Spain, Germany, Italy, and Sweden. And then in the late 90s, I became a driver on buses. But as I say again, as I write down here, I am never the first to trot out the experience bullshit, but needs must when morons attack and try to talk me down and dismiss me or belittle me. So yeah, here we go. I've been driving since the late 90s. Yeah, wet behind, ink sweating license. And in that time, I have done quite a lot, as many of you know, including working for Nolan's, HSF, Irish and Dutch for over half the career. When you factor in agency, I've probably driven trucks on behalf of over 30 companies, from mini buses and midi buses on service work to coaches and buses on international work to double deck coaches, and freight-wise, everything from vans and 7.5 ton to Arctics and D-mount drawbars to double-decker supermarkets to ejectors on landfills to fridges in ranges to Euroliners in building sites to hazardous to Budapest or Prague from Ballina in west of Ireland to 8-wheel tippers to multi-drop clothes in central London, DTS, to 15 drops across Italy, to butchers and shops and much more which I've forgotten. And as I say that because I just people do it all the time and I get a bit sick of my opinion being dismissed because I'm like young. You should take it as a compliment really. It's like, I'm really not young at this stage. And just to say, I've had a really varied career because I'm a restless soul, basically. I get bored very easily, which I now find is apparently because of ADHD. But like my career isn't amazing or remarkable. It is just what it is. Like I'm not doing it because I'm supremely talented or more talented than anybody else. It's just because I change jobs a lot. I mean, let's face it. I'm sort of technically not that great a driver. But when it comes, if you need to get stuff from here to put 15 drops in Rome. I'm your man. Yes, let's not go there. Don't want to make myself unemployable. So just stop, into the bulk of this, stop talking down to drivers. Every career is worthwhile. Like, no experience trumps another. So I've been driving 24 years this year. If somebody else has been driving 24 years but has only had one job and maybe doing the UK, that doesn't make his experience or my experience any better or worse than the other. It's just different. Like, that's all it is. Like, there's nothing. It's like the way they look down on you, but and they bitch about the young like they're an alien race. If you were young once and you had to learn everything, what was that noise? And they don't realise with all this Facebook bollocks is they don't know the impact it might have. Like, there are young drivers out there. And I imagine most of them will just brush it off as just a load of old bullshit, but some of them will be affected by all this bollocks. Like, people they should respect, because that was the other thing. Well, in my day we respected older drivers, you should respect us. And it's like, no, I'm not going to respect a fucking moron. You earn respect. It isn't just given out freely. Where are we going? Yeah, so it's just stop coming out with this shit. It's so fucking predictable and so annoying. And often the big mouths, I always notice, if you look at them, the big mouths on Facebook are the ones who go, oh, I did Barry to in Italy, not from Wales, to London once non-stop, and it's like they go on and on and on about it. And actually, the sort of people who did run really bent don't really talk about it because it's a habit from when they did it. It's I think of a lot of cases of these older drivers. It's just making up for a disappointing career. Let me have the drink. So, and they also have the can't teach me anything. Some drivers get to a certain point of experience and they think they can't learn it, and then nothing to learn, I know it all. Like, one on Facebook a little while ago was talking down to this young lad. He was just starting out and he was just asking about getting European work, and this bloke was just talking so much shit and putting him down and going on about, and he literally said, I think I mentioned this before, he literally said, you can't tell me anything, I've been in this industry, what was he said, 15 years, and he's older than me as well. So I replied saying, 15 years? Did you start late? I've been in it 20 years. But so you'll be learning new stuff from now until the day you die. If you don't and you refuse to, you'll just make one cock up after another. And also, they also do it with the old roping and cheating. I couldn't rope and cheat. It's like, no, well, they don't fucking need to. That's the point. Sat navs and things. Drivers now, just the idea is to adapt to the time. So no fucking point learning roping and cheating. I mean, I've done lots of flat work, but I can't rope and cheat for toffee. And often you get a lot of the older drivers going on about automatics and stuff, and the amount of messages I see that people can't really drive automatics because they don't learn them, because they get into a lorry, and that's one thing that I hate. They get into a lorry, they want to hate it, they end up hating it. Surprise, surprise. Same with jobs, same with anything in life. If you approach something with an open mind, and I keep pointing like an idiot, if you approach something with an open mind, like I approach anything. So if there's a new truck, I will get anything. Right, let's see what this is all about. That's it. It looks great or it looks bad. We'll see what it's about. And actually, that way, my whole career has been really enjoyable. And I love learning. The next learning subject is going to be electric trucks, which I know infuriates some people. So, to conclude, my long-winded nonsense again, lift them up, help them. These young drivers, lift them up, help them, make them better with your experience. That's the key. Your experience. Instead of bitching about young drivers and minging about them on Facebook, help them. We all need help at some point or another. If you think a particular young driver is doing something wrong, tell him, but be friendly about it, be nice about it. and you're more likely to change his ways if you do think it's a mistake, what he's doing. And I do respect older drivers. My dad, Transport Encyclopedia Bob Beach, I've written down here, the journalist Bob Beach, who's a driver, and like literally you could ask literally anything about anything in transport, and Bob Beach knows it. He's like just the online encarter. And actually the Virginia, the Cole brothers behind Virginia, like all those three have done it all, and they always advise, help, pass on knowledge. I've never heard any of them actually say that old drivers today bullshit. So to conclude, stop shitting all over the young, on the internet and elsewhere. Lift up, not talk down. Good day. My neighbours probably think I'm a bit of a nut because they keep hearing me saying good day.